Thank you very much. I'll just pick up right there. I was going to get to it later, but I'll just move it up to the front. And I know, Superintendent, we've talked about this before. I have a lot of concerns around the STAR system and just that single, what I call a Yelp-like review of a school, because I think that the data behind it has much more information. And I believe the intent is to say we want to provide this menu of information that helps families, parents, students be able to look at the full totality of what that school is. My complaint and my concern is that a single STAR system I think is just inherently flawed. It doesn't matter to me that 40 of the jurisdictions use it. It doesn't make it right. In the same way that if I'm trying to pick what restaurant to go to, if there's something with a 1 or a 2 star, I don't go back and say, well, let me dig deeper. What's my wait time? Or where do they source their food from? What's the kitchen like? What are the reviews like? I don't ever get past that first number. And I think that's my concern, is that we don't need to use that type of single summation. And I think that for the 1 and 2 star schools, I know I've heard from so many school communities that do not believe that reflects the totality of their school. They feel very much diminished by having a 1 or a 2 star, and even a 3 star. And I don't believe it actually tells parents what it is that we're trying to get across. It's the next level that I do think has a lot of valuable information. But my concern is that upfront single summation stops people from ever getting there. And that to me is something that I think is what I hear reflected from school communities across Ward 6 that are very frustrated with the way in which this number or this STAR system is being used, and almost in a way prevents people from getting to the next level, which I do think OSSI's pulled together a very rich set of information to try to help provide that, but it is the STAR system that people can't get past. I've also heard folks talk, I wanted to ask your ideas around other elements that should be included. I've heard from a lot of parents in school communities that have talked about things like school culture evaluations or social emotional outcomes for students. What are some of the ideas as you look at it of the types of information that you feel like are valuable, are things that you might be considering either changing or adding in as you continue to move forward?
So first, if I may, I just want to say in terms of the overall rating, I understand that there have been community questions and concerns. We've certainly heard them as well in our process. But what I would say is I think we all feel like our schools are not yet where we all want them to be. We are not yet serving all of our students to reach their highest potential. And I believe that we have to take a clear-eyed view about where our schools are and how our different schools are serving different groups of students in order to be able to improve. And I know that that is not easy for us to do. I know that there are community members and educators who are working extremely hard in all of our schools, but I think it's important to first recognize how our schools are performing in how they are serving our students, again, in order to be able to improve over time.
I don't disagree with you on that, but I don't think calling a school a 1-star or 2-star school advances that. I agree with what you're saying in terms of where we have to go and how much more work we have. I don't think labeling a school a 1-star school accomplishes that.